This next topic is about Real IDs. Some of you may have heard about them through social media. There's been a lot of social media reach out, a lot of media conversation about this. This is a federal thing. This is in every state here in the United States. So the way that this works is normally, as a U.S. citizen, you would have some form of identification. You either have a driver's license or you have a non-driver's license state ID. For international travel, you'd get yourself a passport, which is the little blue book that you could use to travel through the airlines and head overseas and do whatever you need to do. Traditionally speaking, all you would technically need to do under normal circumstances to be able to travel domestically, meaning from point A to point B, all being within the United States, all you would really need is your driver's license to do that, both through purchasing the tickets and, of course, to actually get on the plane. You would need your driver's license to do that. So the process that they have began is a system called Real ID, Enhanced ID. And what it is it is a form of identification that the card itself will have a physical determiner as far as it being a legitimate government-issued identification. You're probably saying to yourself, well, I already have a government-issued identification. Well, it's good that you bring that up because I actually have a little piece of video here. I'd like to play it. So we have a professional explain it to you. This is the AAA Northeast Robert Sinclair. He is explaining Real IDs, why they're important, why you need to get the ID in the first place. I'm going to go ahead and let this rock just a little bit so you guys can get an idea of what's going on.
Well, after years of delay, it's finally here. Having a Real ID to fly domestically is going to be a must starting May 7th, or else you can't fly. And showing just your driver's license isn't going to cut it. So that means if you don't already have one, current company included, at least I don't have one. We don't know about yours yet, Bianca.
I don't either.
But you do need to head to your local DMV to fill out the paperwork.
By the way, this video that I'm playing, I forgot to preface this before I hit the play button, but this is on the YouTube channel Fox 5 New York. Excuse me, Fox 5 New York. They are the one who was interviewing Mr. Sinclair. They're illustrating to you now exactly what I just said before about the travel part, that you're going to need it to travel domestically. There's a little picture in the video that has a star, but like a star in a circle, almost like Captain America's shield, almost like. And it's located in the top right corner of the driver's license. I'll let them continue.
All right, joining us now with more information on what you need to know as the deadline approaches is Robert Sinclair, Senior Manager of Public Affairs, AAA Northeast. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, and you are not alone, believe me, in not having it yet.
Yeah, so maybe start there. Explain what this Real ID is, and how do we know if we even have one?
Okay, pause for just a second. Good question. His response to them about saying, because the two women who are anchoring the news here are openly joking about the idea that they don't have it. It's April 9th at the point of recording. The deadline is May 7th. They don't have it. And he gets on the air and he immediately says, yeah, you're not the only one. Yeah, that's why I'm doing this piece right now, because it doesn't seem like a lot of people are understanding that this is something that you have to do. I'm going to give you guys my story about it when this is all over, but I want to give you guys the information before I divulge into my own bullshit. So here's Mrs. Sinclair answering the question that they just asked.
Well, an act of Congress in 2005 mandated minimum standards for driver's licenses as a result of the 9/11 attacks. Many of the terrorists, I believe all of the terrorists, used fake driver's licenses in order to get on the planes. And a fake driver's license is one of the easiest things to obtain. So in order to make for a more secure document,
Now, he doesn't work for the government. I'm going to pause it here for just a second. He does not work for the government. He works for AAA, which is an auto club. And he's saying that a fake driver's license is one of the easiest things to obtain, which is true. I'll give it to him. That is actually factual. I know a lot of people who have gotten them over the years. The problem is I've never been able to get my hands on one. I have never had a fake ID in my entire life, and I feel like I'm missing out, to be honest with you. I feel like less of a human being. I didn't go through that trial by fire. I did not get my fake driver's license to sneak into the club or to sneak into the bar When I was 15 or 16, I had the mustache already. I was a pretty good size build. I was never really asked to show ID. So I never really needed one. But the fact that they're just openly joking about the idea that it's just so easy to get a bogus ID is alarming. But here we go.
The government passed certain standards that you have to show certain pieces of identification, proof of identity, proof of residency, proof of social security number in order to get a real ID to be used for domestic air travel.
So, I mean, can you get away with using a passport, or do you have?
Yes, without a doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, passport is good.
Even a fly domestic?
People don't like to carry them because they're larger, bigger documents.
Yeah,
and the driver's license fits right in your wallet. And so a lot of people prefer to use that. And it has been an acceptable form of identification for domestic travel for a long time.
Okay, I think the one thing that people dread most is going to the DMV.
Right.
Because that's always a lovely experience.
That shit is universal. That shit is universal. That sigh, that, oh my fucking God, I gotta go to the DMV. That is universal. Everybody hates going to the fucking DMV. And the funny thing is that there are people who will tell you, I hate working at the DMV. And then fall on hard times, they'll go looking for work and they get hired to work at the DMV and they contribute to the shitty experience that it is to be in the fucking DMV. It's a vicious, vicious, vicious cycle. So we'll continue here.
So you need to go to the DMV to get one of these, or is there another way around it?
No, without a doubt, it's going to require a personal visit in order to get it done. So you can get it done at DMV offices, you get it done.
See, he lost him immediately. Yes, it's going to require a personal visit. Ugh! It's that personal dread. No one wants to go to the DMV. No one ever wants to. There are people who would rather go to a dentist for a colostomy than go to a fucking DMV. They don't want to fucking do it. No one does. No one did. A collective groan. Oh, why? Why are you making me do this?
Done at AAA offices. If you're a member, you make an appointment.
Okay.
And you have to have original documents, proof of social security number. You have to have the social security card, and it cannot be laminated. Or you can use a W-2 or a pay stub, but it has.
I never understood the no lamination. Because I'm 42. My Social Security card looks like absolute dog shit. My Social Security card has seen some shit. Okay? My Social Security card looks like a Vietnam veteran fresh out of the jungle. He just looks distressed and battered. And sure, he puts a smile on his face during picture day. But inside of his head, it's like East Side Saigon in there, boy. Let me tell you. Charlie is on his 12 at all times. My Social Security guard has seen some shit. Has experienced life. And now everyone's like, well, it can't be laminated. He's talking about, by the way, and I know people are wondering, AJ, why are you going over identification? You know, people, if you're a grown adult, you have your ID. Not all of them. Not all of them. For a while, I knew a bunch of people in their 20s. They didn't have a driver's license or a state ID. They don't even know what the 6 points are. So just in case, we're playing it here.
To have all 9 digits of the social security number on it. Proof of residency, you need 2 documents, original documents of proof of residency, like a mortgage agreement, utility bill, property tax bill, or rental or lease agreement. Proof of identity is the birth certificate. It took me a long time to find mine when I had to get it.
Robert, it's sounding like I'm going to be carrying my passport to the airport.
I just want to understand. We got to do all this, pay some extra money to do this, just to get a star on your driver's license?
Well, the fee is a duplicate license fee if your license is not expiring. Some people want to wait until the date that their license expires. I believe licenses last 10 years now, so that might.
I didn't do that. I'll explain why I didn't do that. Me and my wife had valid driver's license when we went in for our new IDs. We went with the enhanced one, which is higher than the real ID. I'll explain that in a second too. And we didn't we did not wait until the end. We got ours immediately, and it ties into the passport situation. I'll explain in a second. But yes, if you're hearing this and you're saying to yourself, I don't really want to go through that process, nor do I want to pay to go through that process, as long as you have a valid passport, you don't have to. You can just keep doing what you've been doing. But let him finish here.
Take a while. So if you need to go get this Real ID, it will be simply the fee of a duplicate license, which is not that much. So you don't have to worry about the expense, I don't think. But a lot of people don't know about this because so many are in the habit of making their own travel arrangements these days. If you work with a travel counselor, they know about all these regulations. And don't forget, there are ones to travel to the UK and another one for the rest of
Now he's breaking into a whole nother tax bracket of people. Who the fuck has a travel counselor? Who the fuck hired a person to do the vacation research for them? Yeah, that ain't us, homie. I wish I could just pass my Orbitz login information to somebody and just have them figure out all the fucking pricing for me. Or actually Priceline for me. I'm a VIP on Priceline. Thanks to professional wrestling, I travel a lot, and I'm on the VIP for Priceline. But other than that, I don't know. Travel, whatever the fuck he just said, not over here, brother. That's not my tax bracket. But okay, here we go.
Europe, but because so many people are planning their own travel plans, they don't know about it, and they get to the airport and they get a very, very upsetting message.
Nothing derails you more. Whoa,
I found it. I found my ID.
don't let people zoom in.
You can zoom in here. I realized I have a real ID. There we go. I'm good to go.
But it's not New York.
It's Florida.
Well, and that's an important thing to know because the regulations can vary from state to state. So New York might have one, and New Jersey, Connecticut.
Okay.
So
Either
go
way.
to your DMV website for your particular state to get the particular.
For the record, folks, they're laughing because in New York, I don't know if it's everywhere. That part, I don't know if that's federal. But in New York, there's a system now where there's an app where you could scan your identification, and it takes it straight into the app, and it saves it for you. So if you were to ever actually to physically lose your ID, you still have the option of using the app to show your ID. The reason why they're laughing is because Dingbat went looking into the app to see if she had her ID in there. It's in there, and it turns out when she updated her license, it was a real ID. And she got so excited, the fucking maroon turned the phone around on camera on Fox 5 News and showed her fucking ID to the world. And that's why her partner was like, maybe, don't do that in case people zoom in and steal your fucking identity. So they all kind of laughed at her on national TV. and now we move on to the completion here.
Information of what you will need in order to get that real ID. Very important.
Very important. Well, Robert, thank you for breaking it down, and hopefully no one's...
So it's a system. The system is the same as getting a driver's license. The word duplicate basically meaning that if you already have a valid driver's license and you currently are in possession of a passport, then you don't need to do this. If you don't have a passport, then you absolutely have to go through this process, whether your driver's license is valid or not. If it happens to be expired before May 7th, then you're good. Just do the renewal process on May 7th, and you should be 100% straight. Now, okay, so for those of you who don't have passports, you kind of are stuck. They're making you do this. There's no other fucking way around it, unfortunately. You're going to have to get the fucking real ID. Or the enhanced, like the ones that I have. Either or. They're going to fucking make you do it. And so, this is the situation that it is. The excuse that they're using is the fake ID excuse, which has been around since, like, forever, right? I mean, everybody remembers going to the liquor store and all that stuff with the fake ID. So they're trying to cut back on that when it comes to air travel. That's what they're really specifically trying to target. It's the air travel of it. So, my situation, right? So, here's my situation. So, up until recently, I know I shared a post last week on Thursday. I just got my passport. My wife and son. My wife got her passport. I got my passport. We used to have passports. We let it expire fucking years ago. So, we had to go through the whole process all over again. And to get new passports. We did what we needed to do, which is dope. We got it done. My son has his very first passport. at the age of 10, which is pretty good, and he travels a lot, so he's good. He does a lot of traveling for a 10-year-old. So we're straight on that. But back to the ID itself, I got the ID. We learned about the Real ID situation last summer. You can go back, again, one of the older episodes, the California experience, I forgot what number it is, where we talked about my trip last summer to Los Angeles and to San Diego, my first time on the West Coast. It was during that trip where we started seeing signs in the airport where it says, get your Real ID, get your enhanced ID ASAP, because it's going to be law to have it at some point. So I remember taking photos of that. I was like, I've never heard that. Let me look into that. And, we went on vacation. We did what we did. We came back. I took the time to look it up. And all that stuff that I found is the stuff we're talking about here and what it means. And in order for us to travel, we're going to need such and such. We're going to need either the Real ID, the enhanced ID, or a passport. And at the time, I didn't have a passport. So we knew that we wanted to get passports, but we weren't entirely sure if I could. The passport thing was a little iffy. I'll explain why. So, this was another reason why I think I let my passport expire, to be honest with you. I think it's something that played on my head, but I wasn't entirely sure what my passport status was going to be. I have an arrest. I have a conviction, actually. I have signed paperwork for a conviction in Mexico. So I wasn't entirely sure that I was going to be given a passport, even if I fucking filed for it. So when we saw that we needed to get Real IDs to fly domestically, just to travel in general, my wife and I got a little nervous about the passport situation. Because they're like, well, as long as you got passports, you're good. Right, but I don't, and I don't know if I'm going to get, so this is a problem, right? So we decided to jump on it. We said, you know what, before the rush, let's get the Real IDs, and then doesn't matter what the passport people say, at least I can still fly domestically, right? And I don't want to raise any flags during the passport phase and then fuck up the regular driver's license phase, right? I'm not trying to raise any red flags. So even though we had valid driver's licenses, we went out and got the real one anyway. So there's two. There's the Real ID and there's the enhanced ID. The Real ID is everything you just heard there. It's basically a driver's license with a fucking star on it. All right? That just makes it official. But the enhanced ID is a little different. And the difference between the two is that while the Real ID is a standard domestic travel identification, the enhanced also allows for occupancy through federal buildings and federal establishments. So for me personally, outside of the wrestling, I work for the government. So I'm in federal buildings not often, but enough to where having this, the enhanced ID is beneficial because I don't want to have an issue with getting into these buildings because I don't have an enhanced ID. Right? I just don't want to run into that problem. My wife and I both work for the government directly. So we figured we were going to need that regardless. Also, what the enhanced ID does is it allows you access as a civilian to enter military bases and federal property as far as that goes as well. And that was a huge plus because my son is a bit of a performer and a stage kid, and there is a base not too far from where I live. They house a lot of the performances in their staging area. So in order for us to get on the property, we need an enhanced ID. So it just made sense. It was more expensive than the Real ID, but we really needed the enhanced. So we went out and we got the enhanced. So we got that done. We had to take time to get that done. And then after we got that done, which was a while ago, what are we in now? April? I think we got the Real IDs. It was after the summer. So sometime around Halloween or Thanksgiving or some shit like that. So we've had them for a minute. And now we have our passports. So we filled out the information for the passports. That went through. and nothing got flagged on my end. So as far as I know, I'm good to fucking go. No issues on my end. I am free to fly anywhere in the fucking world, as far as I know. As far as I've been told, the conviction in Mexico stated that I was not allowed to drive in that city or that town that I will not reveal in the future. So I thought it would be an issue when it came to passports. It was not. So we're straight. I'm good to go. I'm legal, and I'm willing to travel. So is my son. He wants to go to Japan. I don't know about that, but we'll see. There's different options on the table. So I wanted to do my due diligence. I want to do my service to you folks out there and let you know deadline's coming. That's what it's for. You can go to your local, because like the guy said, every state has their own different regulations, which means they also have their own prices. So you need to go to your local DMV website and figure out what those prices are. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot less of a headache if you do this process. My wife made a very interesting comment to me the other day with all these trips to Europe and all this stuff that WWE has been doing. We're inching ever so closely to getting a Wrestlemania overseas somewhere. And when that happens, she wants to go. So that'll be the situation for us. We want to be able to go on the road and do that. And the only way to do that is to take care of what needs to be taken care of. So that's my pitch to you guys. That's my due diligence. That's my little piece to you guys to let you guys know that these Real IDs situations is very, very serious. They will. I don't give a shit if you got the best price on airfare or whatever the case may be. They are not gonna let you fly unless you have this shit. So do yourself the fucking favor. Go get the shit. All right.